had a client drop off this K-base for some work, and now I'm going to give it some new frets. The old frets on this thing were so worn, especially in the upper register, that they started to crumble while I was pulling them out. Normally I use solder to prevent tear out, but in this instance, I think I also needed the extra height the solder provided just to have something to grab onto. Once I got all of the old frets out, I cut some jumbo stainless steel wire to length and got to hammering everything in. This was the first unbound fingerboard that I've refretted in a pretty long time, so it was nice to cut out so much of the prep work that I usually do for inset frets. My goal when getting these frets in is to get everything as level as possible to minimize the amount of work that I'll have to do later when I get to the leveling process. I check everything regularly with my fret rocker and tap the frets down wherever I get rock. This process works well for me to preserve as much fret material as possible. When fretting with a hammer, it's important to not try to muscle the frets in. The reason I'm not hitting them harder isn't because I'm weak. I'm actually very strong. It's because hitting the frets too hard can cause them to spring out or damage them. This process is about finding the balance between smashing the frets in and tapping them too softly to make any progress. Once all of the frets were hammered in, I glued them down and cut and filed the fret ends flush. Let me know in the comments if you want to see this process all the way through. This space is actually going to get sent off to paint before I can finish everything up, so it'll look very different the next time you see it.